to just thank all of you for joining for this 2020-21 CC Grid conference. But I also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge contribution of several members who worked very hard during in 2020 and 2021. Of course, we started this organization in 2019 itself. So in that regard, I like to present a few recognition awards. So I was hoping to present so this keynote recognition, speakers recognition, the immediately after the keynote, but however we delayed it to the last. So anyway, we still have some keynote speakers here. So during last 3 days, we started with the first keynote talk by John Grundy. So we like to acknowledge his contribution and also presenting keynote at the CC Grid 2021 by presenting Research Excellence Award. So thank you, John. So next I want to move on to the second keynote speaker. So that was the day 2 of the event. So where we had Professor Feng from Virginia Tech. He talked about performance, energy efficiency, then of course with the minimal consumption and so on. So we definitely acknowledge his contribution to the field, and along with presenting keynote talk by presenting Research Excellence Award to Professor Feng. Thank you, Feng. Um, yes, just like Best Paper Award, we will be making plaques of these award certificates, and then we'll be mailing you directly from US. IEEE will mail them, but this is the digital version for you. So, Professor Dasdar, thank you for presenting your talk on edge intelligence, especially focus on edge computing and how we can integrate the edge and cloud, especially to support IoT application and challenges in that field. So highly appreciated overall, and we recognize your contribution and also recognize your contribution for presenting keynote talk at CC Grid. So thank you. So this is your digital certificate. For the same. So now I like to present Outstanding Service Award. So these are the colleagues who have worked very hard during last 2 years, starting from formulating a committee, formulating call for papers, putting together the necessary elements and infrastructure. So as a result, we were able to attract papers from for CC 2020 from 45 countries, authors from 45 countries around the world. Then for 2021, we received again from 47 countries around the world. So this is a massive effort, not only attracting papers, but also putting together program committee, organizing reviews, then selecting suitable papers, keeping acceptable high quality of the conference. So this is hard work of program chair and various other program committee members. So I like to acknowledge Laurent, who served in this role for both 2020 and 2021. So, by presenting him Outstanding Service Award. Thank you, Laurent. So, of course, the co-chairs for 2021 were Stacy. So she just concluded, chairing Best Paper Award. So I like to acknowledge her contribution to the conference by presenting this outstanding service award. Thank you, Stacy. So moving on, then of course our Young Lee, so who is our colleague here in Australia, based in Sydney. So he also very actively worked with Laurent and Stacy, especially for 2021 conference program. So I'd like to thank Lee for his outstanding service with this outstanding service award. So then, of course, for 2020, we had two coaches, that is Laurent and Carlos. So Carlos, in particular, he played a extremely important role for 2020, and so his desire was that we hold this conference in person and we meet in person. So that is how we pushed 2020 to 2021. Then we decided to hold, although that didn't happen. But Carlos has been a backbone of 2020 event. So in recognition of that, his contribution as program chair, for last year, program that we put together, technical program. So Carlos, thank you very much for your very active help, and of course joining us for 2021, managing this virtual event as well. So these are program committee members managing program chair, program committee, and overall technical program. But apart from this, CC Grid had many other associated events. So workshops, Ductile Symposium. Then we also had Fog and Computing Symposium along with CC Grid. Plus, of course, many other team members here in Melbourne who helped us in this organization. So I like to present, in that regard, for ICFEC Fog Edge Computing Event Symposium. That was, program chair was Yogesh. So Yogesh, thank you. Please accept this Outstanding Service Award for your dedicated efforts for ICFCC and, of course, coordinating with other members this year as well. But primarily, this is recognizing your role as a program chair last year. So thank you. Then this year we had two colleagues who really chaired this 2021 ICFEC conference as program chairs, and very actually not only put together but also especially this virtual event. So one day when they also did very nice program on Monday, so the first day. So I wish we had the event in Melbourne, but anyway, you did very good job in putting together and attracting lots of participants for the Monday event. So Blesson, thank you. So this is outstanding service award for you. So please continue to help the conference next year also. So then Lena, very actively involved along with Blesson in making ICFC happen. So we recognize her contribution, and she will continue to support for next year event as well. So Lena, please accept this outstanding service award digitally. Then of course physically we will mail you a plaque later on. Then we had workshops. There were several workshops associated with CC Grid, both for 2020 and 2021. So for 2020, George Palis, he was also actually organizer of 2019 event in Cyprus. So, and he, because he did a very good job with workshop organization as a overall chair. But this year, for 2020, so he had very actively organized several works, helping attract several workshop and managing them. So we recognize his contribution by presenting this outstanding service award to George as well. Then we have Anne. So she works with, I guess, Laurent in Ria, France. So she has been organizing Doctor Symposium last year and this, for 2021. So thank you. So we like to recognize your contribution by presenting Outstanding Service Award. Then for this year, for workshops, organization management, so it was Haying. She actively played, in coordinating along with George, but she's much more took front role, with his guidance. So highly appreciated. So recognizing her contribution by presenting this outstanding service award. Um, then, of course, even though we put together call for paper program and so on, but we need someone really actively help us with promoting the conference. So we had several colleagues helped us. So I thought I would recognize one of them who has been helping CC Grade for a long time, not just 2021. So recognizing his contribution, Carlos Vespar contribution as publicity chair for CC Grid with this outstanding service award. So so we do publish conference proceeding. Already 2020 conference proceeding was published last year itself. For 2021, IEEE has prepared and we made available the proceeding version for all the authors, which they can all access and download. But it will be live. It will go live in IEEE Explore and also ACL Digital Library. So in that regard, Adele to see Adele, who is now at Monash. So he has actually helped us a proceedings here last year and this year, and we recognize their contribution by presenting him Outstanding Service Award. So then I also like to present posters session chair, although we didn't have really poster here, but papers are there. So I like to recognize Joanna for actually helping us with preparing call for paper and attracting submission. So with this outstanding service award. Last but not least, there are two persons I really want to recognize who are members of my team. Both last year and this year continuously were helped, and without them, I would not been able to manage this conference, especially putting together this virtual event. So this is where Shashikant who comes into picture. So Shashikant sort of served in multiple roles. So I gave him now title as the registration, managing registration, and then dealing with the virtual event and interacting with IEEE and so on. Number of areas where he helped. So though I recognize Shashikant contribution to CC Grid by presenting with him with this outstanding service award. Thank you, Shashikant. Then finally, Muhammad. Muhammad is someone many of you have interacted in your various roles. So he served as cyber chair, putting together our website, continuously updating, both 2020, 2021, then actively working with me and others in preparing this virtual event and also along with Shashikant. So many others, so very actively coordinated. So I think as a result, so he is someone who really, really worked hard for this CC conference. So the last one, last award, but this is one of the very important recognition I like to present to Muhammad. Muhammad, thank you very much for your all services, and here is your outstanding service award. Thank you very much. For your services for the conference. So this is all from me to recognize the contribution of all our volunteers. Now we are all volunteers for this conference. IEEE and ACM are our formal sponsors. So when conference makes success, both financially, so it belongs to them. If it, of course, we didn't make any loss, but we definitely made some success in terms of financial as well. So from IEEE also, there are many colleagues who really actually helped on day-to-day basis managing finances, managing and hotels interaction and so on. Of course, hotel contract we signed and we paid advance payment. We are hoping that they will cancel and they will give back the money. So still we are not yet got the once money we get back the money. So I am working with IEEE possibly to return back the extra money that we collected from everyone for 2020 conference. We have set very low reduced registration fee, and our aim is to just keep same. So hopefully that will happen soon. Okay, so again, of course, I like to thank all the attendees, and the authors. So every day I see some fluctuation and new members coming in. So all the attendees, thank you very much for joining us. All of you are in different time zones. Some of you maybe at midnight, 12 o'clock. Some of you maybe 2 a.m. Some of you maybe early morning, like in Europe. Then for Australia, it is fine, 2 to 4. But somebody has to sacrifice, and all of you sacrifice just for us. Thank you for your cooperation, and we highly appreciate. So, before I hand over to next year, so
No,
yes, Lauren, you want to say some words,
yeah,
Lauren, Stacy, and others?
Yes, before we go to Massimo and present next year, I think on behalf of all the chairs and volunteers of CC Grid, we want to thank you and to congratulate you to organize this CC Grid event and to manage the CC Grid community. Thank you, Raj, and we all applause. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
It was great to
Thank
work
you,
with you.
Laurent. Stacy or Carlos, anybody want to speak?
Yeah, I second Laurent. Thank you, Raj, for all your guidance throughout the years, for creating this conference and for maintaining this worldwide community. It is highly appreciated.
All right. So now we will hand. Okay, before we move on to 2021, on the first day I mentioned, and all of you know that CC Grid is truly a global conference, And we hold this conference in different countries around the world. I think almost major parts of the world we covered. But having said that, we are looking forward for bids for 2024 and 2025. So those of you who have been attending this conference and want to organize in your country, so kindly submit your interest, and we will work with you to make it happen in your place under your leadership. So I look forward hearing some express of interest from colleagues from US and China. Perhaps it's time to go over there. Before. So with that, note, I like to invite Massimo, so who is going to lead the next year conference organization. He will share with us his plan and possibly even show us the website he has put together for the conference and the team that he has put together for the event. Massimo, so please go ahead. So I hope you got rights to share the screen.
Okay, I'm going to share this. No, not yet,
Oh,
yet,
yes, very
Control.
good.
Somebody can enable
I
me,
will give you a
please?
minute, just a
Okay,
second.
thank you. So thank you, Raj. Thank you to all of you to
Yeah, you
have the
can
opportunity.
share
Okay,
now.
thank you. Yes, I'm going to share my screen. Can you see it?
Yes, we can see.
Oh, okay, very well. So again, it's a real pleasure for me to be here and to present the next event of CC Grid in Sicily, in Taormina exactly. So just to give you an idea, Messina is my city, is in the central Mediterranean area, and I repeat, should be a good period in next May to organize it. Forgot to mention the dates are from 16th of May till 19th to 2022. Repeat, here we see a picture where is Messina is in between Sicily and Calabria. There is a small channel, it's quite well known as the Strait of Messina. The university where I belong to is a quite historical university. Here you see the website, where you can connect, you can get the same data. But I want to stress you, it's a long, really old university from the 6th century that we started in looking for challenging stuff, this perspective, okay? You see even some magic historical of the city, where repeat was the one of the main harbor in Mediterranean area, and we have a chance to host a lot of ships and so on and so forth. You have some picture, of course. I put in some picture, Raj, and all of you to see some attractive pictures, attractive places where we are to host you. This is essentially the idea. So, but exactly, we stay in Taormina. In Taormina, it's 45 kilometers from Messina, and it's a beautiful. I think you remind it because it was organized at G7 2017 before COVID. Seems to be a long story. This is our place, guys. This is the place to go. But we have some way to go on the volcano. Etna is still active, but you are not scared. No worry. It's quite far from Taormina. Then you have the sea, the beautiful sea, and the swimming pool and stuff. Here you see some picture from the G7. This is the place. We are organizing it in an hotel in Taormina. It's named the Diodoro, Hotel Diodoro. We know them very well. I repeat, they have a really nice facility. It's possible to get to Taormina thanks to the high port of Catania. It's also 40 kilometers far from the city, from the small city. Many direct connection to get Catania. Of course, many direct connection. This picture, it was before COVID. We have to understand what's going on for the future, because there is this kind of, let's say, not well-known story about after COVID. Let's see. There is another high port at Reggio Calabria. You can reach, in both cases, Taormina. Okay, essentially, repeat, the university is around some important areas. You should know people from Federico II. I know the example that Raj knows Domenico Italia in Calabria, but some other people, Rome, I know there are some colleagues, Reggio Calabria, and so on and so forth. Okay, many attractions in Sicily. We are here in Taormina. There was a Naxos at the Greek periods, but you see a lot of stuff around. There are beautiful temples, Greek temples, and a lot of culture. A lot of picture. There is more volcanoes. I mentioned Etna. This is Stromboli. It's an island. This is Etna. This is Agrigento, and so on and so forth. I think you can spend your time there. It's also good. The food, well known worldwide. The food is quite good, and we can admit it. Okay, and then there's also some island of around the city. Okay, I'm going to share with you essentially the website we prepared. First of all, this is on our group. We're organizing a CICI GREET next year. It's my group, FSR Lab, in University of Messina, and some of the research topic. We're working a lot. We work on also with Sharam and osmotic computing. These are some people that will help us to organize all the events. I want to put them in this picture, in this situation. There are many, because the group is quite big. Okay, some historical situation. We organize many events. ESOC, I think Sharam reminded, but also some other article conference with many attendees, where we hear some pictures to show you some good experience that I want to share with you, just to have it comfortable. Okay, guys, this is the Aula Magna, the big room of University of Messina, and there are some other places. What the ESOC? And repeat, ESOC was organized several years ago, and one keynote was also Sharam again. Sharam is all around. If you remember Sharam's picture some times ago. Then it is a EEE with repeat, a lot of people around the city. Here you see the Granita. It's quite well-known way to make a breakfast in Sicily. You should have it also in May. Okay, it was the other conference I was organizing. Repeat, a good experience, a good feeling, a good way to make you comfortable. This is what I'm saying to you, because we have to make a great research, great papers, great brainstorming, but at the same time, you know, to first of all to forget this really bastard COVID, let me say. This is what we want to do. I want to have with all of you in presence, not in front of the monitor. Okay, repeat, good hospitality. It's not expensive Sicily. Repeat, southern people are really friendly, like all Italians, of course, as you can imagine. I want to share you 2 minutes of this video, if I can, just to. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, Massimo, it is nice if you can move on to 2021 event, 2022 event plan.
Yeah. I will skip the video.
Yeah, I think you skip the video. Huh?
Okay.
Go to the program, your team
Yes.
of 2022.
Yes, is okay. I'm going to the programming. This is what we are. Okay. So I will. I asked the help from Omerana. Really happy to help us. Instead, the program committee is from Maria Pazzo, Rado Prodan, and Deborah Sher Panda. Already accepted. It's Ellen Chen, Antonio Celesti. Then I asked the publicity chair of this year to help me. Somebody was not available to continue to work. Repeat, many people are from the past. I asked George and Carlos, they were doctoral co-chairs, industrial co-chairs, Javid and Raul Michileni from San Francisco. They are the financial chair and southern chair. The steering committee is there, as you can see, and we confirm, of course, all of them. And I wanted to show you also what is the call for paper. Repeat, we have already the website. I'm going to access it just in 1 second. And I want to share you some little modification, Raj, about the call for paper. It's the same as last year. And we added much more artificial intelligence, digital twins, future internet, osmotic computing, a cloud continuum. But repeat, we are not finalizing it. If you have any, let's say, any suggestion, feel free. Okay, the idea in scheduling should be a little bit early, but we can move in case of 1 or 2 weeks, according to what is important to do. But repeat, essentially are the same dates of the last year. Okay, and this is the website. I'm going to connect it. Last remark about the COVID. It seems that it's decreasing in Italy, just to make you safe, and also vaccination should be fine. I'm going to the website. and that's it. I finish it. Okay, this is the website I'm preparing. It's still working on. Okay, with all the information, all data, and you should have it. Here you have the organization. We will put some pictures and also the other organization. But we are trying to improve it. Okay, this is what I said and what I shared with you. I hope is something interesting for you. I am here and I'm trying to do now my best. Okay, Raj. Okay, the others, Laurent, Sharam, Carlos, it is a pleasure for me to host all of you, and let's see you in person in Taormina next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Massimo. So anybody want to ask any question to Massimo?
I have a question, looking at the things going on.
Yeah.
Some country participant may travel, some may not travel due to the restriction. So is there any plan to make this function as a hybrid, like people who would like to
Blended.
attend online or something like that?
Blended, yes, we go for one. It's, I think after COVID, the important word is blended. We try to, even with Raj, we said not to have all the people because we don't know how many people we can host. We organize it with 100, but I am not sure that this will be possible, but you know, by aggregation of people, but for sure be blended. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, here in Australia, so they are saying that border may not open until middle of next year. So which means we traveling is possibly rolled out. Then likewise, you know, it's going to be challenging. But anyway, we have to
I can say
organize with
something,
caution.
Rajiv, this perspective. It seems to be this action to have this kind of green card that allow you, you know, if vaccinated, quite easy to move abroad. This is what's happening. I think starting from next January, we should open the, let's say, the barriers. Go ahead, Raj.
Okay. So any others want to, you know, share any comments? So it is open for everyone to, you know, speak. So if you like to feedback or comment, if you want to comment.